Immigration. It's always a hot topic. The discussion can divide or it can unite. America is made up of immigrants from all over the world. Many came here for different reasons, like the Bosnians, for instance. They came to America for a promise of a better life, a life of peace, and to escape from the crippling war that was ravaging their country. Meanwhile, a struggling town in the middle of America was desperate for new people. Their population was decreasing, so the Bosnians came and helped this pretty little city, the city of St. Louis. Today on the show, I'm meeting up with a local reporter who has been writing about the Bosnian immigration to St. Louis for several years, and we're going to go inside a local Bosnian grocery store. I'm also going to check out some of the most popular Bosnian restaurants in town and taste their amazing authentic food. I get private cooking lessons and learn how to make two traditional Bosnian dishes, pita and braised veal. St. Louis, it's a town with a checkered past. The city has seen its ups and downs, but in more recent times, the city has really struggled to grow. In fact, the city has experienced some serious population deficits. You can see from the many abandoned buildings that this city was once a thriving metropolis, but now so many of them lay derelict and abandoned. The city of St. Louis was built along the western bank of the Mississippi River, bordering Illinois, and is the largest metropolitan area in Missouri that nearly 3 million people call home. Today on the show, I'm meeting up with a local reporter who has been writing about the Bosnian immigration to St. Louis for several years, and we're going to go inside a local Bosnian grocery store. And Doug.
Hey.
Hey, I'm Gary.
Good to meet you, Gary.
Good to meet you. We're doing a whole Bosnian episode for United Plates America, and they told me that you're the man to talk to when it comes to Bosnian, the Bosnian people here, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I have written quite a bit about them as a journalist, and this is, where we're standing, is kind of what they consider the beginnings of the Bosnian resettlement movement into St. Louis.
Along here is a lot of Bosnian restaurants and...
Yeah, bars, restaurants. That's where there was a Bosnian newspaper that opened here. Basically any type of business.
And there's 70,000 of them here?
That's the estimated number. It's hard to get jobs when you come in and you don't have a job history or credit.
Yeah.
So they started a lot of their own businesses, the bars, the restaurants, the bakeries, these little shops that you see.
And there's a Bosnian supermarket we're going to go and check out right now,
Yeah,
right?
just around the corner. So this is one of the mini markets that they opened to cater largely to the Bosnian population. This is a place where a lot of folks from the former Yugoslavia come to look for food that they can't find in sort of a chain market. So
look at that.
Yeah, these are popular comic books here that they have an entire series of.
Yeah.
And as you'll see in the market here, there's like, you know, there's some of these things I've never had, but I always want to try them.
Well, I mean, what's this here? We got...
This is one of the sausages that they have here. This is the...
Oh, the ćevapi.
Yeah. It's a beef and veal mix, which are very common in almost any restaurant that you go to. If you're a vegetarian, this is not the place for you.
Okay, oh really?
This bread is very, very popular, very common.
Okay.
Almost every restaurant has this as well.
Okay.
They can serve, I've also seen it just served sort of on the side. You can kind of sop up whatever on your plate, you know? I mean, that's how I like to eat my food too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is something you don't typically see in a Safeway or Piggly Wiggly or, you know, things like that, exactly. So. When people immigrate here, they just kind of stick together because they have to help each other out and figure it out. And the good thing is there were so many that came at one time that they were able to build almost an instant community.
What happened? Why did they come here?
You know, there was a sort of the ethnic cleansing, a genocide destroyed the country. The U.S. decided we've got to do something, and they decided to open their borders in record numbers. And St. Louis is one of the cities that was selected. We're one of the resettlement agencies throughout the United States. And 25 years or so later, we're now third generation, folks that are growing up, born here, and it's just sort of part of that whole process of America. One of the early stories here about sort of assimilation that people talk about is when the Bosnians came here, they liked to smoke their meat. So they would build smokehouses in their backyards. And they also would gut their own animals, oftentimes goats. So they were putting these smokehouses in, and they're very pungent, and they're like polluting. And then you can imagine they gut the goat and they're getting it ready to smoke. And these poor little old ladies that have lived here for years see blood running down the alleyways, and they're calling the police thinking it's a crime scene. And it's basically their new neighbor is just preparing food. You look at foreigners with trepidation because we're different. We speak differently. But I have to say with the Bosnian population, there was a really interesting integration that you don't see with other refugees because they're considered white Europeans. So they kind of were able to fit in that way.
You've been awesome. I've got lots of food to try. I have lots of Bosnians to meet.
You do. Many, many. 70,000 is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
You need to get busy.
We're going to get busy. Thank you so much,
It was
Doug.
great meeting you.
I really appreciate it.
Enjoy your stay.
Coming up, I'm meeting local restaurant owners and tasting some delicious food from the most popular Bosnian restaurant in St. Louis. I'm excited for some real authentic Bosnian food and a dining experience like no other. I'm going to local restaurant Grabek, and I'm meeting up with owners Irma Grabek and her son Ermin. Is this kind of like almost like the community centre for Bosnians?
It is. In a non-official way,
Yeah.
yes. So we do all types of events and concerts and.
This is where people come if you're going to have a wedding or if you're going to have something that's to kind of the Bosnian community.
Correct.
That's because your dad was a really big player in Bosnians being here, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean,
What's the story?
my dad came here in what was it, like the 70s, I believe it was.
Yeah.
He actually had a friend that was here, and they basically said, "Hey, why don't you come over here?" He was young at the time, like 18 years old. "Why don't you come over here? You'll have a much better chance."
Bosnia was kind of struggling at that stage, right?
Well, at that time it was still under Yugoslavia.
Okay.
It was still Yugoslavia at the time. I guess he knew what he was doing when he came here, got situated, and then went back to Bosnia and brought my mom here.
When your mum and your dad were here, pretty much there was only like 7 families who were Bosnian at that time?
Just about 7 families. There was very little. So I mean, my dad was amongst the first that were here.
But now there's 70,000.
70,000, yes.
How did that happen? So I mean, obviously your dad did some serious marketing.
Well, it wasn't him alone.
Okay.
The war, the Bosnian War in the 1990s was obviously what.
That was horrific.
Correct. That was the major factor that brought everyone here.
So I mean, they came as refugees, didn't they?
Yes. I mean, the majority of people that are here came as refugees.
Oh, I'm amazed that like 10% of the population here in St. Louis is Bosnian. It's like it's a massive.
It is. I get asked every day, how, why,
Yeah.
why are there so many here?
Yeah.
There's not really a specific answer why they're all here. What happened, I think, originally is started getting a small little community here, and people started hearing about it, and just more people started coming, and then somehow, like I said, this became the hub for the Bosnian community as they were moving here.
Yeah.
And all of the Bosnian businesses started opening up in this area. We have restaurants, grocery shops, bakeries, butcher shops. Everything just went Bosnian, basically.
When I came here, for me, it's like a little strange. First, I watched the television, not understand nothing. I've been watching Dynasty when I was in Bosnia. And I was always picture America is a dynasty like Crystal and Alexis. And it is totally different when I came here. And I was so surprised when I see so many people staying in line and being, just try to get some popcorn, hot dog in a market. And we don't have it like that. In Bosnia, it's totally different. Another thing what I miss when I came here, to see the people on the street. And every time I look on the window to see if there's anybody around, because I didn't know nobody around me. If there's anybody around, if I need any help or something, it's nobody in the street. And say, oh my God, how that that street can be lonely and no people outside. When you see the people here, they can say hi, bye. But in Bosnia, we know each other. Especially I grew up in a small little town, and I know everybody, then everybody know me. And even if you just go outside, in your front yard, and people passing by come through, they stay and talk with you for hours and hours and hours. That life is kind of easy and relaxing, not fast and stressful like here. And now I get used to it. When I opened the restaurant and I decided to put my menu together with my sister, she said, we're gonna put Mama's cabbage roll. We call that sarma on a menu. And I do my pickle, the big head of the cabbage. We do have big cans in the back of the room. And we pickle the cabbage at least 3 to 4 weeks till they start, pickling. And my husband, he grew up through the butcher business, and he buy the fresh meat, and he ground it, chop it, clean it, slice it, whatever I need in the back room. And I grew up through the restaurant business. I've been watching what's my mom doing all these years, and I really fell in love, with the cooking.
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Well, let me just see what we've got here.
Yes, of course, please.
Okay, so these are the cabbage rolls right here.
These are the cabbage rolls, ground beef and rice rolled in cabbage, topped with a light paprika sauce. Ćevapi, the things I was speaking about earlier. Traditional homemade beef sausages. They're grilled and it's served with this traditional homemade pita bread called lepinja. And here's the king of all plates here at the restaurant, one of our most popular ones. We call it our mixed garbage plate.
I was grilling the mixed garbage plate on a grill, which includes dark meat of the chicken. We marinate it and tenderize it for 3 or 4 days least. And then when I need my mixed grill, I put that dark meat on a grill and put that vegetable, red paprika, yellow paprika, onion on the side. And also I do have ćevapi, somebody called ćevapčići or ćevapi, which is really popular in Bosnia and all over the Europe. And that includes in the mixed plate. And also I do have chicken kebab, and I do have pljeskavica, which is very popular, and we can, serve the big pljeskavica. It's a big Bosnian burger. Sometimes I had that on special, and everybody love it. And they say, oh, how big Bosnian burger is, not like here, mine is big. And I do have a veal cutlet also with that, and we serve that with a vegetable and special house sauce, which is a little bit spicy, and nobody make that. It's my sister and my secret recipe.
A sample platter of all of our grilled specialties, as you can see.
That's just amazing.
All the way on the right.
That's not for one person.
Yes, it is. Of course, one. We call it one oversized portion. How about that?
You guys eat really, really well. Well, the thing I want to taste the most is the most Bosnian thing on the menu here. Is this thing right here. So this is going to be great. Do I put a little bit of sauce on?
Please, yeah. Okay. That's our house sauce. Yep. Traditionally served with ajvar, which is a roasted red pepper sauce.
Yep.
This is our version of an ajvar.
Okay, this looks awesome. Okay, so the taste here. Oh my gosh. That sauce.
Yes, made in-house. Kind of a little secret what all goes in there. A little spicy though.
I cannot tell what that is.
That's the point.
What is that?
A little
There's a little lemon in there?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
This is so good. Okay, I want to try some of this cabbage over here.
Please.
So let's dig in here. What is this made of? Is that wrapped in cabbage?
That is wrapped in cabbage.
Oh
that
God,
is correct.
it looks like an actual.
But we actually pickle our own cabbage even for that dish.
Wow. Okay, let's do it.
And that's actually what I'm having here as well. This is one of my favorites.
That's really good. That's a really hearty meal for winter. That would be really cool.
Hands down, one of the best-selling meal. Well, all year round, I'll probably say it's between these two meals right here.
Yeah.
But wintertime, can't make enough of those, especially,
Well, come on, let's dig in. We've got a lot to get through here. Come on.
Yes.
After the break, I'm rolling up my sleeves, jumping into the kitchen, and learning how to make 2 Bosnian meals, pita and braised veal. I'm going to Jay's Pizzeria to meet the owner, Zamir, and learn how to make the popular Bosnian dish pita, or also known as burek. This meat-filled flaky pastry roll can be eaten pretty much any time of the day, including breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What do we got going on here?
We're gonna make king of the all pies called burek. Pita with meat. Burek. Burek.
I love the way you say that. Burek.
Burek, yes. Vanessa, she's our main chef.
Okay.
She's 21 years old, but she has like amazing skills how to do that. So basically, that's the dough we started with. Yeah, she's gonna spread it a little bit like this. See, you have to have gentle hand touch. See, you have to stretch it. See, it has to
my
be,
gosh.
Yeah.
So you're really going to stretch that thing out.
Yep, you have to stretch it like paper thin size. You can try it. You're gonna see how difficult it is.
In Bosnia, this is this like a regional thing, or is this kind of like just...
From Israel, I have a lot of people from Israel came here.
Yep.
Turkey, Greece, whole Balkan. That's the way how we make pita.
What kind of meat are we using?
Chuck beef neck.
Okay.
Because it's very tender and has some grease inside.
It's not very good for your tummy too much because you're going to have to put on a little bit of weight, right?
Definitely. So look at me.
You look fantastic. What are you talking about? Okay, and what's going on over here? These are a dessert, right?
Right now we are preparing the dough for our traditional Bosnian bread called samun. It's similar to pita bread.
Yeah.
But it's much puffier.
And you also do a donut too, like you do like a jam donut.
donuts. Yeah, it's like.
That's American. Come on.
No, that's not. We call it Krofne.
Okay.
That's German.
All
We
right.
accepted it from German.
All right, well, looks fantastic. You've got some cooked already, and so I want to try some of that if I can, and some donut.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what do you call this?
We call it Krofne. That's a German word.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is the
came
German
from-
one.
yeah, German.
All right, let's break it up and have a look in here. Oh, look at that. That's actually real jam in there. That's like
Yeah,
strawberry jam. Strawberry jelly.
Yeah, it's imported from Bosnia.
Oh, really? So it's actually imported.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Let me have a taste here. It's messy, which means it's great.
That's fine.
Wow.
I love messy.
It's very similar to an American donut, but the jelly or the strawberry jam inside,
Yeah.
it's lighter, so you won't
Yep.
feel as heavy after you've eaten that.
That one will take the spot too. Yeah. I love this.
It's so good.
Yeah.
All right, what have we got here?
Like meat pita, which I showed you, and spinach and cheese. Like same technique.
No knife and fork here. We're in Bosnia now, right?
In Bosnia, you use your hands.
Okay, let's do it.
It's not going to get messy.
Oh, wow, that breaks apart perfectly. That is really good. And the cheese is really nice. Is that a feta cheese or something? What is it?
We have 4 cheeses to mix together. This is my home recipe. I can't tell you.
It's a secret, right?
They're secret.
Let's do the meat one, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
This is the one that we saw her roll out before, which is fantastic. That really smells good.
Taste.
That is amazing.
Yeah, a little bit onion inside. Make it.
There's onion in the meat. Obviously, there's a fat in there, which is great,
has to
which
be,
makes it moist. And you know what I love about the pastry? It's crispy and it's kind of light.
Yep.
So it's not too bready.
No.
It's delicious.
There is no country like America, trust me. If you want to start business for nothing, like I do with my food from scratch, that's the only country.
Did you come to get away from the war?
Pretty much like everyone else. I was like from the beginning to the end. I mean, no college degree, no nothing. What are you going to do? So,
What was that like?
I found myself, okay, how to go through the war. Just like keep my mind clear and sharp. One day is going to be the end. Can you imagine this day? Turn upside down, like 360 degrees, everything's disappeared from your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Food, electricity, car, nothing, shortage of food, of drink. Of course, you got angry because you see lots of things. That's not normal to handle. Like people dying every day, in front of your eyes.
How many people left?
I don't know. I think around 1 million people.
That's a lot of people. It's great coming to St. Louis because I feel like I've visited Bosnia by coming here, talking to the people, getting to know everybody. And thank you, you've been absolutely wonderful.
Hey, thank
and
you.
I love this.
Thank you.
We should finish this right now, huh? Because that's going to go to waste.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
When we're returning, I'm getting another cooking lesson, this time at Taft Street Restaurant and Bar, and learning how to make braised veal the traditional Bosnian way. For my next stop, I'm taking a cooking lesson. I'm learning how to make braised veal. I'm heading down to Taft Street Restaurant and Bar to meet owner Sabik, who greets me with an interesting Western-like welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Bosnian people are friendly people, and you know, you like to hang out, you like to eat and drink.
And that's exactly what you do right here at Taft's.
That's what we
So,
do.
what are you going to do for us today? What have we got here?
Today we're going to make a braised veal. First, I pour some oil here. We're gonna start fire.
There's a lot of oil there, right? Which is great.
There is some oil here, which I'm going to do for sautéing.
I already know I'm going to love it.
Let me give you a little history of Bosnian community here in St. Louis. You guys know that war happened in Bosnia.
Yeah, that was dreadful.
And then we started coming here in 1993. And I was one of the first who came here. So what we're going to do, we're going to saute a little bit more. Veal with mushrooms.
Beautiful. Look at that.
So a few moments, and then we're going to add veal stock. When we debone the meat, then we don't throw the bones away. We just boil them so we have a stock.
Fantastic. So do you actually do your own butchering here?
No. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, look at that. So that's really bubbling away nicely now. And
So we're going to evaporate all the liquid before we add cream sauce.
so what do you call this dish in Bosnia?
Teletina u kajmaku.
Teletini the knuckle. I'm not even going to try. When you came here, what did you do for a job?
I started an engineering company for a couple of weeks. I was poor, refugee, with only a few bucks in my pocket, but I couldn't do anything because I'm not used to it, big machines and everything else, so...
And the language barrier too.
I speak zero English.
Wow.
So I looked for a cooking job, which I get a job in a Mexican restaurant as a prep cook. And whole recipe on Spanish.
Oh my God.
Yep, that's my welcome to United States. But I couldn't ask guy who was in charge how to do things. I memorized procedures, and I don't know if I amaze people that I don't speak English and I can repeat pretty much everything that they have there.
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice. 28 years old back then, and you know, start from minimum wage, prep cook, minimum wage. 4 years later, I was executive chef at Missouri Botanical Garden.
Wow, that is incredible.
So, you know, and then I decided to open my own.
That's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, it's a real success story how you came here with nothing.
58 bucks. I came here with 100 German mark, which was exactly back then 58 US dollars.
Wow.
I didn't speak any English. I didn't know anybody. I landed on Lambert. There were some Bosnians in the airport, and they picked me up and brought me in the city. I did this for so many times. I'll give you a privilege to taste it, and you tell me if it's good.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay. Oh, yum. That's good.
Okay.
That tastes like grandmother's cooking.
Now I'm going to check the fries.
Did you lose any friends or family in the war?
Yes, I did. I was not directly involved in the war.
Yeah.
I was in 2 concentration camps.
Oh, really? Wow. How long for?
For 5 months.
Wow, that must have been horrific.
I was 47 kilo when I was released.
Are you kidding me? That is so thin.
No.
How do you deal with hatred and the bitterness? How do you stop yourself from being angry?
Well, okay. When I opened this place, I welcome everyone.
Yeah.
And this is probably the only place that all people who was fighting in a war in Bosnia coming here and sitting and drinking and eating together.
On opposing sides?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. And
that is fantastic.
So this is a setup.
Yeah.
So we're going to finish serving.
Yes. Why do you do it like that?
Well, that's my way.
Okay.
I'm a chef here, so I can do however I like. Then we pour sauce.
You know what? In St. Louis, where it's cold, that's a really good meal to eat when it's cold, right?
It's not exactly healthy, but we are not hospital needed.
This looks great. This looks like a home-cooked meal. Oh my gosh. That is a wonderful meal.
Thank you.
So hearty, not healthy at all, but very, very good food. Very, very
Well,
good for your psychology, right?
And cold weather, this is really, really good.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Had a wonderful time with you today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming here.